scared and she ain't never been. Who else willing to go toe to toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids, they protect the ones touching them. Trump invading his own country with an army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats. But y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing but they think again. They only trying to scare out of running cause they think she win. Listen, thought I told y'all we ain't never scared. Now look who name on the docket. Got 2 words for every racist bigot living, Jasmine Crockett. Everyone in MAGA isn't racist. Yeah, that might be true, but in all of history, I never seen a Nazi flag be blue. So which side you wanna choose? Me, I hope my money goes to the side that isn't trying to say affordabilities. I hope she stand on business, all 10 toes. Texas tough, don't need no more bad built, bleach, blonde, butch bodies moving forward. She ain't never scared and
Good morning and welcome to Let It Be Known. I'm your host, Stacy Brown. Nia, you on mute.
Peace and love, everybody, and welcome to Let It Be Known. We have your trending and important headlines that are impacting the Black experience this morning. And I guess we're starting with none other than one of the she-rolls of Black America, Miss Jasmine Crockett.
Only her would kick off her campaign that way. Pretty much. I mean, she's like, hey, it is what it is. And yeah, hey, look, it's going to be a test now of just how popular she is in Texas, particularly. She's very popular, we know, but we'll see how that translates to whether or not she can be successful at running for senator.
Oh, well, she definitely can run for senator because she has the power to raise money. And we know that elections are built on how much money you can raise. So we know she has that out the box. I know the Collective PAC, which is one of a key political PACs for Black electeds across the country, have endorsed her. I'm sure she's going to pick up the endorsements of Higher Heights, which supports Black women running for office. I can see Emerge, which is a woman-led PAC supporting her, and of course the CBC, the DCCC. And so she's going to have the money to run. And so I just think that what she did and how she did it was a game of chess and not checkers. When you look at how Colin Allred jumped out of the race and went back down to District 33 to run for Congress. And then you had Bishop Freddie Haynes, who jumped in the race yesterday to run for her seat, actually. And so she's building a ticket, and that's what you do in politics. You build you a ticket to where you guys run together. So it's not just about her, it's about building political power. And we won't even say Black because we know they say that's DEI, but she's building a very strong ticket to run across the state in Texas, which is what you're supposed to do if you want to win.
Yeah, and bottom line is Texas, right? It is Texas. It is like it's Florida, Texas, places like that where they have. Let's just face it, the racism is so steep in politics there, in those places. It's an uphill battle, regardless of who you are, especially if you're Jasmine Crockett, because you know, as you mentioned, you are anticipating the CBC and others. I don't count on the CBC, but you are anticipating the CBC supporting.
Well, I said the political PAC. It's not about the CBC. I said the PAC, the money. She's going to get the money.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that as much as you can count on all of that, you can certainly count on all of the white supremacists, all of the MAGA folks, and from the White House on down to do everything in their power to prevent this woman from advancing.
But see, here's the deal. Here's the deal. There's so many Republicans. There was a news story yesterday about more Republicans that are hold congressional seats are dropping out of the race. And so it's going to be hard for them to just focus on Jasmine Crockett because they have to focus on the entire country and filling all of those seats. And then you have these Republicans that aren't running, which means they have to find viable candidates to replace those individuals. So if they focus only on Jasmine Crockett, they're going to lose everything else. And so
Hmm.
that she definitely has a chance because she's going to have the money. One of
Hmm.
the thing, you could be the best candidate, she could the
Right.
best candidate, but if you don't have the money, you're going nowhere fast. She has the money, she has the name recognition, and it's not just going to be coming in from Texas. People are all across the country are going to fund that candidacy. And I think
Hmm.
she's very smart because she's also going to be working with a Dr. Freddie Haynes. She's going to be working with Colin Allred. And think about all of the other seats. It could be municipal elections happening in the state of Texas. It could be state races that are happening in the state of Texas. So that ticket is going to be stacked. And that's what you need in order to win elections. So she's
Right.
on the right track for sure.
Exactly. And these questions, it's not about focusing on them, but it's these types of questions that people are going to be asking, and they're going to want answers to, just to boost their confidence, as well as how is she going to overcome certain things. As RNG says, her number one problem is rural voters. She must receive more than 15% of the rural vote. She needs at least 30% and a higher turnout in the urban cities. The thing I say to that too, is that she, if anybody can get folks to come out, it's probably Jasmine Crockett.
And you don't do things like this without doing some polling and some testing. And she said that the test came back that she is a
Hmm.
viable candidate. So
Yeah,
before
there's
she
no
even
question.
before she even threw her hat in the ring, they did testing, they did polling.
Hmm.
And so she definitely is a viable candidate. But I think the key is stacking that ticket. And when you have a Colin Allred who understood the assignment because he was running for that Senate seat as well. He dropped out.
Right.
Okay. And then you saw somebody like a Freddie Haynes who has the Black church pack on his side. He has the collective pack on his side. And so when you see this happening, you understand that they know what needs to happen. And so now you could imagine what the rallies are going to look like. And then they are also boosting, like I say, local and state candidates. If people are running for mayor in that state and they happen to be Democrat, guess what? This is going to boost their chances to win as well. So it's not even just about Jasmine Crockett. It's about the synergy that she is providing for Democratic candidates in the state of Texas, which should make Texans excited.
Oh, it's definitely about Jasmine Crockett. She is the superstar of the party, if you ask me, and she's the one that can carry others, more so than others carrying her. The way I see it, and the way I've covered it, I just believe that Jasmine Crockett. I asked those questions, like I said, just to see, what the response would be, because people want to hear those responses. But at the same time, Jasmine is the superstar of this party. I think more so than, certainly more so than AOC, who's also a star of this party. And well, Bernie is not a Democrat, per se; he's an independent. But I think when you look at the Democratic Party, she is. It is not to compare the two folks, but she is right now everything Barack Obama was in 2008. And I'm saying that to say that Barack was clearly the candidate, the person, the Democratic face in 2008. Right now, can you give me another face, of the Democratic Party than Jasmine Crockett? I don't think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just think that she can win. Um, she'll have her haters. She has her haters now, but that doesn't stop her. And that's the thing I think that separates her even from Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris was in some ways bothered by some of her haters. I don't think Jasmine Crockett could give 2 cents about her haters.
Well,
I
no,
think
she did.
Jasmine
She
Crockett
said it
is.
yesterday. She said yesterday it's very heavy. She
Oh, it's
said
heavy
that,
for sure.
yeah, I mean, and that is because of the haters. That is because
Hmm.
of the death threats.
Hmm.
So she does get bothered by it. But she
Well,
said yesterday, she said that, it's heavy. She did say, it bothers her,
mhm.
but she said what outweighs it is, the service. And she said she heard from the Lord. And she said she did not take this position
I don't like
very
when they say
lightly.
stuff like that.
She said it didn't, and it wasn't just like a snappy thing to say. It was like she was really, pouring her heart out. And I think that's what people like about her authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
about just waiting it out. But she said what triggered her and what ultimately made her make the decision was the Supreme Court ruling.
Mm-hmm. So
And
that's what she
so,
just says. She heard from Supreme Court. She didn't hear from the Lord. Supreme Court said, Jasmine, you need to run. That's the voice she was hearing, seeing all that crookedness that goes on there, and it continues to go on at the Supreme Court. Unbelievable what they're doing there.
yeah, for
Unbelievable.
sure.
And good for her to say that when she saw those rulings, it was like somebody's got to do something. It's got to be me. So good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
Nancy Wall says we need the younger leadership with knowledge about what needs to be done, boots on the ground. Somebody else, I think it was Dr. Marilyn, said her speech was heartfelt. What'd she say?
Mhm.
Yeah, heartfelt. She said, I felt the same feeling when Obama announced. And that's what I'm talking. That's what I was talking about too, Dr. Marilyn. It's not to say that, I guess you are comparing them in a sense, but in a different way. I just think that she is right now the one person in that party that the rest of the party needs to, if it ain't gonna follow anybody, they should follow Jasmine Crockett. So
For sure.
there we
She
are.
is definitely stirring the base.
Yeah. Dr. Marilyn finally says no one has taken as much hate than Jasmine. To be attacked by POTUS is crazy, but haters are gonna fuel her. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too, right? When I say she doesn't give 2 cents about the haters, it's not gonna stop her. So maybe I should rephrase it. They're not gonna stop her in any way in how she moves at all. It seems to give her fuel, as Dr. Marilyn is saying.
For sure.
Um, so we'll see what happens. If nothing else, those campaign rallies are going to be something else. They're going to be, I think, tantamount to what we see, what we saw in Chicago at the conventions. They're going to be convention like. All of her rallies are going to be convention like. If I believe anyway.
Well,
She is
yeah.
that dynamic.
Yeah, but we have to remember too, this is a midterm, so
Mhm.
that's going to be happening all across the country. And it's going to take Democrats from each state supporting each other. And so you're going to see, I think you're also going to see some rising stars. Jasmine Crockett has the name recognition 100%, but there are a lot of rising stars, a lot of young millennials that are running for office. And so I think Democrats will be happy to see what is going to happen under these midterms. And I think what's starting to happen is Republicans are starting to worry because the more
Mhm.
they have to identify somebody that is going to fill those seats. And one thing
Uh,
you know,
Go ahead.
Donald Trump is getting old. And the same
He
things
is
they were talking about Joe Biden for, he's reflecting those things. So it's going to be hard for him to keep up. It's going to be too many candidates, too many races, too many replacements. It's going to be hard for him to keep up.
Well,
So
he's already falling asleep at meetings and stuff.
it is going to definitely be interesting, but we should all be excited, for something like a Jasmine Crockett, but also for all of those that are dropping out that are Republicans because they are scrambling right now.
One person I expect to continue his rise in popularity and in strength is Maxwell Frost. We haven't heard a whole lot about Maxwell lately, but very young, very energetic. I think he is probably, I know when I've gone to the Hill, the few times I've gone this year, only a couple of times, is seeing him seem to be kind of under her wing a little bit. So that's a good thing to see too.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's not,
time.
and to make no mistake, Jasmine is still she's still young. She's still
Mhm.
a young woman. So it's, as you pointed out, the young ones are the ones that they need.
For sure.
Also this morning, very, very powerful irony going on right now, uncovered, of course, by one of my favorite non black owned publications, Pro ProPublica, they have said, listen, all this stuff that Trump is pointing to Letitia James and Lisa Cook, well, guess what? He did those things. He's the one who committed mortgage fraud. Documents show that Trump signed, and they even put Niele on their site, the signed documents of Trump's properties from the 1990s, where he swore that each home would be his primary residence, even as his own real estate agent said he never lived in either property and used them strictly as rentals. And this is what he's accusing and trying to get removed Letitia James and Lisa Cook, not only trying to get them removed, but trying to get them imprisoned for conduct that he himself did. And in fact, in Letitia James's case and Lisa Cook's case, grand juries can't find any reason to indict them.
Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump is a crook. That's why you see him giving all these pardons away to individuals that do things like this, and just, white collar crimes. He's a crook. He knows how to work the system. And that's probably how he was able to say charge him with that, because he did it. And see if he can stick to that.
He did it. He did it. Yeah. Well, and it's so interesting too, because like you said, he did it. So when he was championing this, as a celebrity, as a person like him, he could grab women by their private parts. Well, according to a civil jury in New York, he did it. So, business fraud. Well, he said he can get away with everything. Well, he did it. So here we go.
Right. Straight up
Absolutely
crook.
right.
That's still forever too live. A straight up crook. You are so right.
Yeah, I just thought, again, this is why I enjoy ProPublica. They put you say the receipts. Well, they also publish the receipts along with their articles. So very great investigative reporting. I wish we had the wherewithal to do more investigative reporting, because you get stuff like that. And it's like in your face. Look at those documents signed by none other than the man who has 3 baby mamas, lives in government housing, and is a convicted felon. No, we're not talking about somebody from the projects, not anybody black, not anybody brown. We're talking about Donald Trump. Incredible. Folks, here's some good news out of the Big Apple. New York has tied its record for the longest stretch without a homicide in recorded history. The city went 12 calendar days, November 25th to December 7th, without a murder, according to the New York Police Department data. That stretch, which ties a record set in 2015, was ended, unfortunately, when a 38-year-old man was shot and killed in the stairwell of a city-run apartment building in the Bronx Sunday night. During the first 11 months of the year, New York saw its lowest number of shooting incidents. They had just 652, and shooting victims just 812 in recorded history. They had never had such low numbers. So something's going on that's right in the city that never sleeps.
Well, it sounds like it's the Mandami factor. That was after he was elected. So maybe folks are feeling it. But just speaking to police reform, criminal justice, Mary Mandami appoints my son general to the public safety transition team, which is related to a topic like this, because he's on a task force to continue to help curb crime, and headlines are breaking out. Fox News is losing their mind about this, because my son is a former convicted felon. He has served time, but he has definitely turned his life around. He actually is one of the co-founders of Until Freedom, and he hosts a podcast with Tamika Mallory. And so he was on the front line for Breonna Taylor. He does a lot of criminal justice reform work. And so that headline, coupled with Mandami's leadership and his approach to how he wants to reimagine what policing looks like, it should be interesting to see how they build off of a headline like that.
Well, you mentioned former felon or whatever. That has, you can throw that out the window, folks. You should be able to throw that out the window, right? You got a 34 times convicted felon who's able to go and ascend to the highest office in the land. So I don't want to hear about nobody's criminal history anymore.
Right.
You know,
But I think
that.
that's what makes can't yeah, I totally agree with you. But and I also think that that helps, somebody
Hmm.
with experience, right? That
Right.
could come in and that's relatable. I think, that is a tremendous asset to have when you're looking at how to curb, constituents and policing and reimagining that. I think that's a perfect candidate, especially somebody like him who was on the front line for justice for Black folks, justice for police reform, justice for criminal justice reform. He's your guy.
Lauren Burke, Black Virginia News, she's watching. She says 8.4 million people talking about New York. The idiot Giuliani told us we needed 50,000 cops. Cuomo said more cops, but crime has been down for years. Exactly. It's like what Trump is doing in D.C. now. You can catch this in the Washington Informer later today that they are Trump is expanding the park police force. They are making it basically this huge they're trying to make it the biggest police force there is. And you know what the park police duties are? It's simply to protect the monuments in U.S. parks, not to, but that's not the goal. The ACLU have pointed out even before Trump took office that one of Trump's goals was to create this huge police force, and it's total dictators type stuff.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
always more cops. Greer says, "Big ups to my son." That's our homeboy.
Yeah, I mean, he's super dope. And he's always on the front line with culture conversations that resonate, especially online. So it'll be interesting. I know he takes that responsibility very personal, and it's important. And it's the work that he's been doing for years. And so it's exciting to see how he excels and the advice that he gives Mendami.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really, just to stay on that subject for 1 second. It's really progressive of Mandami to be to allow that advice to come in from someone with that background. Although, as you pointed out, when I say that background, I'm talking about the convicted stuff, because generally, it's been run away from those who have any type of record. But obviously, this man has so much to offer, and Mandami is willing to say, "Hey, I can learn from anybody."
Mhm.
You don't discriminate, and this is another reason y'all want to run around talking about anti DEI stuff and affirmative action and all. It's the idea that that's because a person is of a certain race background, they can't offer you nothing. This it's ridiculous. That's another. This guy is obviously my son is obviously a very intelligent man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about reimagining. We know that the origins of policing come from slave catching in this country, and so, it's hard for you to think about policing, being of justice when you think about the origins of it. It's just like looking at the white men in the White House right now. And the origins of their Black backgrounds are their ancestors were slave catchers for the most part. And
Yeah,
so when you think about the origins of policing and its slave catching, you do need some progressive people to reimagine what public safety looks like in this country.
yeah,
Maybe police officers by force is not always the front line of defense in this country.
it
Maybe there
shouldn't.
are other ways to handle it. And so when you
Hmm.
have people come aboard with that type of experience, it makes for a better process to reimagine what and how we serve our communities.
Yeah, yep. Dr. Marilyn, just always remember that even during slavery, you had those types. And that's all I'll say about that.
No, I mean, I think it's great
No, I'm not talking about
conversation.
what you said. I'm looking
No,
at
I
what
know
Dr.
exactly
Mel
what
is
you're
saying.
talking about.
Oh, okay.
Her and Big Cheese are having a conversation. And I think that's important. I'm looking at it and I'm loving it.
Well, to her point, yeah, if you all you're gonna do is tear down anything black without putting yeah, every black person in power, every black person who ascended to even the Supreme Court, they're no good. They're anti-black for some reason. Give me a break. I mean, Stephen A. Smith cut it out. Give me a break. Scammers are working overtime this holiday season and they are using every tool they can find. Banks, federal investigators, and consumer agencies say criminals are impersonating trusted brands, creating fake shopping sites, and cloning voices with artificial intelligence to trick people into handing over money and personal information. For instance, Capital One is reporting that scammers are calling customers claiming their cards are compromised and sending fake couriers to collect them. The FBI says that more than 9,000 AI related fraud complaints have already been filed this year, including scams that use clone voices to imitate family members. The consumer watchdogs warned that fake shipping notices, counterfeit online stores, and phony charities are exploding nationwide. And the advice is simple: slow down, verify everything, and never respond to pressure. So it's
That
that
is,
time of year.
yes, such great good information you're providing, Stacy, because it's scary. I mean, and they're able to kind of tap into something that you might already be doing. And so it looks relative to maybe a purchase or something that you looked at or somebody that you communicated to from a business standpoint. And so it's just really hard, especially for our elderly communities. And that's what we really should be looking out for is the
Mhm.
elderly, because they are the most vulnerable and easy to scam. And these people and these deep fake people seem so real and authentic. I mean, you really have to look after your elders, if you can, and you have them
Mhm.
in your family, because they're the most vulnerable to succumb to something like this.
Yeah, and Stephanie Humphreys says, "Wow, we have to be so careful. We do. We really do." And as Neil just said, look out for the elderly, especially because they are prime targets for scams, especially this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, top 5 scams. Be sure, beware, be concerned. All
Be concerned.
right. All right, and some more headlines. Let's head to Ohio, where the Ohio House has passed a bill requiring public schools show baby Olivia's video to students in grades 5 to from 5th grade to senior level. Now, what is baby Olivia? It's a video produced by an anti-abortion group named Live Action, and it's about fetal development. And they're calling this the Ohio Republican lawmakers that the Enact Baby Olivia Act, and it requires schools to show the video starting next year, 2026-2027 school year. And the bill would also require showing the students an ultrasound video at least 3 minutes in length. Now, all of the Ohio Democrats voted against this bill, but it sounds like Ohio is making pro-life the center of elementary, mid school, and high school students.
Mm. This debate is going to go on forever, isn't it? And you said it last week. Just leave women alone in their decisions when it comes to healthcare. Just leave them alone. Um, get out of their business. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is how you set a precedent in one state, other states begin to follow, and then the next thing you know, it's on Capitol Hill as a federal law. And the question too becomes with this, do they still teach safe sex, right? Because sometimes these pro-choice people, these pro-life people also believe that contraceptives is a form of abortion, right? So it's like, are they taking away safe sex and teaching kids about condoms and contraceptives, and they're just forcing you to have a baby? Because that's what Olivia sounds like. Baby Olivia sounds like, let's teach these kids to where if you have sex, you just need to have the baby.
I remember in my high school there was sex education as well. I didn't have that course. You know, I offered to teach it, but I didn't have the course.
Okay. um, let's head to a conversation that is frightful for our immigrant brothers and sisters. Immigrants are being denied approved citizenship. Now in Boston, and other events across the country, ceremonies are being canceled the day of. And they're being told by the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services officials that they can't proceed due to their countries of origin, saying that they are at high risk. Now, let's think about this. Becoming a U.S. citizen takes years and involves immigrants acquiring a green card, extensive interviews, background checks, classes, and a citizenship test. And then you have your naturalization ceremony. It's the final step to the process. And it's the oath of allegiance. And so what is happening after they go through all of this process that I just talked about, they get to their citizenship ceremony. Trump's clan is going in and telling them, no bueno. No, can't have it.
Yeah, you know, it's just again what we're seeing is all this racist behavior, and some floating the racist behavior. But the bottom line is that this is just flat out cold-hearted, cold-blooded, satanic behavior to do this
Satanic.
to people.
Satanic.
To
Oh.
do this to people. I mean, come on. Listen, it's devilish. Satan, devil, same person, right? It's just you have to be such a low life, and for people to say, oh, that's good, they're stopping immigrants from becoming citizens or whatever because they're hurting this. It's racist to say that having immigrants hurts black people. It's like you could tell that the certain white folks got in your head as a black person to make you believe that. It goes back to stuff Malcolm X used to say, and Malcolm X really knew how to nail these racist things. And so you get in your head that oh yes, that's good for black people that they're stopping Colombians and these people or those people from becoming citizens. That shows your ignorance.
Mm. Mm. Well, I mean, I think that this country is long overdue for immigration reform. We know that for a fact. So I don't have a problem with people wanting immigration reform. I think it's how it's being done is what makes it problematic. And so, I mean, I think that, it's two conversations to be had. Do we need immigration reform? 100%. Is the way the Trump plan administration doing it wrong? 1,000%.
And again, like that headline said, and like the Trump administration said, ceremonies canceled, quote, for some immigrants.
Well, it's from the
And
19 countries that he put
for
on this ban list. Yeah.
right,
And,
right.
and what makes it cruel, it's not that they're not allowed. It's not that about them having the access. It's that they have went through the entire process and that they are there with their families. And, they get the flag, they give them the flag. And the last step is that they get to say the Pledge of Allegiance. And that is when they come in. They could have stopped those people from even coming to the ceremony and sent them a letter and hey. But the cruelty comes in is when they do it right before they get to take their oath. That's the cruelty of it. Not the fact that they, for whatever reason, these 19 countries are deemed dangerous. They could have got a letter in the mail for that. You didn't have to have them come up dignified, fully dressed, expecting something, and then you tell them as soon as they say, I pledge allegiance, they say, no, you may not.
It's just like the Trump
That's the
supporter.
cruelty of it.
It's like the black Trump supporter we had on from Chicago Flips Red. She go all the way to D.C. and then they lock her up once she gets to the White House. They could have told her beforehand.
Yeah.
Listen, don't come. Dr. David Giles says, I agree 100% with Stacy. He says the behavior is outright satanic. As a black pastor, he says, I have been preaching the same thing at my church. Hey, it's cruel, and that's the point. David Youngblood always says it. The point of this administration is cruelty.
And it's, that's why we have to pay attention to what's happening in other states like Ohio. That what's happening in the school, that could be a precedent in the Project Esther, Project 2025, and the Trump clan. They'll take that model in Ohio and tread it all down the South. And Abbott will pick it up. The governor in Tennessee, in Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, they'll all pick it up.
Yep.
And then the next thing you know, you'll have all these pregnant teens in school.
Oh my gosh.
So, we just have to be concerned, be aware, and know what's happening. But on a lighter note, let's talk about some boxing. Oh. So, women's boxing champion Clarissa Shields has put out a call. She's saying, I'll give anybody $100,000. It's an open challenge to any girl from any hood, any country willing to step in the ring with me.
Let me go work my wife out a little bit so she can get in the ring with her for that $100,000. Let me go train Shanae.
No, thank you, ma'am. No, thank you, ma'am. I think maybe, you know who I would like to see in that ring with her? Remy Ma. They're long overdue. They are long overdue.
Why not?
They are long overdue. I know she either wants Remy Ma or Layla Ali. Those are her top two choices, right?
But isn't Layla a little isn't she retired? Isn't she past her, past that?
Well, if that's the case, let me jump into this next story. Mike Tyson yesterday announced that his exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather is planned for March 2026 in Africa. He says it's going to happen in Africa. Both boxers have reportedly signed the contracts, but there's no specific date for March or location has been released. But to your point about isn't Layla Ali too old? Isn't Mike Tyson too old?
Well, he proved that in that last fight. But this is, I will say this, not the hate on anybody's money, Mike's or Floyd's, but that's just absurd. It shows you don't spend your money on that unless you understand it for what it really is, and that is simple entertainment at this point. Because number one, Mike Tyson is a heavyweight. Floyd Mayweather is a welterweight. The weight difference is incredible, right? A heavyweight, you weigh. I think the lightest heavyweight is about 195 pounds, but they generally weigh in about 220, 225 when they're in top shape. Welterweight is generally about 140, 142.
Okay.
And so it tells me, first of all, it can't be sanctioned as a regular fight. It has to be sanctioned as an exhibition only, simply because
that's what it is. It's an exhibition fight.
And so folks got to go to this fight understanding that it's just for entertainment. There's not going to be any real competition there. They're just going to be pretty much sparring.
Well, I guess a Mike Tyson spar is better than nothing. I think for Generation X, he just represents, the last good boxing matches there were. You know what I'm saying? I think we talked about this again. We can go as far back as to the Rumble in the Jungle, but I think even like just fast forwarding to like the Sugar Ray Leonard fights, and the Tyson fights, there was just something that was just, fight party. Who has it? Who's bringing chips? That type of thing. And I think, somebody like a Mike Tyson still remembers those days, and he
Mhm.
still wants to do it. I mean, why not? Why
And
not?
listen, hey, as I said, if they want to let them fight and make this type of the money that they're gonna make is just incredible.
Hmm.
So, like you said, if somebody's gonna pay me, I'm like, why not? Why not? Right? Dr. Maryland says I'm not watching that fight. Tyson signed a contract that he wouldn't hit like he used to hit. It was so many legal parameters. I didn't know that up front.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know
but
that either. Wow. I didn't know
yeah.
that he can't hit the way he wants to hit. And I didn't
Well,
know
well,
that.
the issue, Neil, is that even if he wanted to, I don't think that he would be able to at this stage catch up to Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is not, Floyd is he's not young anymore, but he's certainly in fighting shape,
Hmm.
and could if he wanted to go back into the ring and fight for real, but he wouldn't be able to catch up with Floyd. So I mean, yeah,
So
if
you
he
think that
thinks
so you think that Floyd would beat up Mike Tyson?
at this stage, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, I don't
Tyson,
know.
we saw
I
that
don't
in
know.
that if that last Tyson, what was that influencer, YouTube guy, whatever he fought last year.
Oh, okay. Paul, what's his name? Jake
Paul,
Paul?
yeah,
Jake
Jake
Paul?
Paul, right?
Okay.
Tyson was like a total shell of Mike Tyson that everyone had come to know and love. Total shell. He could, even if he wanted to knock Jake Paul out, he just didn't have the instincts. He didn't have the boxing wherewithal to do it. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, if Jake walked into one, he'd have knocked him out. Yes, because he's
Hmm.
Tyson, no matter what, he still has that power. Same thing with
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather. If Floyd walks into one, but Floyd still has the ability to go out and compete at a high level. Tyson does not. And despite their vast weight difference, um, I don't think if they were fighting for real that at this stage, at
Hmm.
Tyson at 60 some odd years old and Floyd still at 40, 41, Tyson would have a chance.
Okay. I mean, there you go. But look at the conversation this has sparked.
I
So,
know.
I mean, it's something, it's something we're excited about.
Well, it's
Let's
Mike Tyson, right? And Floyd
right. We want
Mayweather
to
for
see
that matter.
it. We want to see.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
final headline for today. We've been talking about him all week. But Shador Sanders has officially been named the starting quarterback for the rest of the season for the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't think they're going to make playoffs. I don't think this is going to do anything but
Uh-huh.
raise the ratings for the Cleveland Browns and remind them that they're a day late and a dollar short.
I'm just laughing because Dr. Marilyn also reminds us that Mike Tyson was naked too. She says, "Did y'all see him in his thong during the Paul fight?" It's a memory you don't want to keep, Dr. Marilyn. You should know that. But as far as Shadura is concerned, I listen. Um, at, see the mistake again. We discussed it ad nauseum. What the NFL and what the Cleveland Browns did was criminal. But here's the time because the season is pretty much over, right? Shador obviously should have been starting from the beginning because the other quarterbacks are garbage. But this is the time of year now because your season is nowhere where you would be playing the second and the third stringers so that you could see what you got. But they just messed the whole program up, and now you got to play Shador.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I just This whole season has been a setup for him, to shine brighter than he probably would have if he just would have naturally started. Because it shows the complicitness of the NFL and the Cleveland Browns. But it also shows a remarkable player that understands what it means to be a leader for his team, well spoken, and the son of prime time. I mean, it just makes the best formula for him to be bigger than, right now, Shador is bigger than the NFL. And it's all
I wouldn't
thanks to
say
the
that.
NFL. It is all thanks to the NFL. There is no Shador Sanders is the number one Googled athlete in the country. Number one Google. Okay. And for the Cleveland Browns to be going nowhere, he's still the biggest story in the NFL. Name me what
Well,
other top 2 stories that are happening in the NFL bigger than Shador Sanders.
well, personally, I think that what the New England Patriots have done this year is a huge story.
Nobody's
And
talking about it.
well, I think the NFL is talking about it. I think the NFL fans are talking about it. I think what you're seeing with Shador, and it probably goes to your point too, is not to take away from your point, is that you're seeing the interest from outside of the NFL fan
Mhm.
circle. But I think as far as tangible stuff on the field, what's happening in New England is just nobody saw that coming. And then you're seeing what's happening in Kansas City. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah,
Um,
nobody's talking about that.
well, again,
I mean, if you're a football
non-football
player,
fans,
yeah, football player.
non-football fans
But
are
I'm just
not
talking.
talking about that,
I
but
said,
football fans are talking about that.
I said headlines. That's not a headline that's coming down people's timelines. That
If
nobody
you are
on
a
the Cleveland, none of
non-football
those
fan,
teams have the number one jersey. None of their players have the number one jersey. None of them do. No, but none of them do. I
oh
know if you're a
god,
football fan, though, I understand what you're saying, Stacy,
I
as a
know.
football fan, but I'm talking about headlines. Headlines. There's no bigger headline in the NFL than Shador Sanders. Maybe Cardi B's boyfriend. What's his name?
Well, he's plays for New England,
Oh, okay. Well, I
but
mean,
but
okay, there you go.
but he's not. He's not getting that type of recognition outside, like I said, like you said, Dion's son is getting, right? All I'm saying is that there are storylines, there are multiple storylines in the NFL among fans of the game itself that trump Shador. But Shador overall, what you're saying, and I you can't argue with it. When you Google, you get Shador. You're right. So I just think that when he's put, the test for him is going to be next season, to start, unless the NFL and Cleveland conspires against him again, which I don't see how they can at the time. Look at those two. But yeah, she, they look like two Michael Jackson fans. They just dressed like Michael Jackson.
That was them at Art Basel, Art Basel. He
Yeah.
had a furniture display there, which was pretty funky. I love one of the mirrors and one of the pieces of furniture, but they're having a good
Wait,
time.
that was a wait. Where were they?
They were in Miami at Art
No, I
Basel.
mean, so what is that? It was a
He had an
party?
activation. He had an activation. He has a furniture brand line that he was showing, that he had curated. I don't know if it's his to say, but he curated a furniture art show, and some of the pieces were featured in this photo shoot that they did.
Oh, okay. It was a photo. Okay, because you didn't. I was
Well, I
about to
mean,
say
it
they
wasn't
went to.
necessarily a photo shoot. It was pictures taken from his art activation.
Okay, I was trying to understand because all I'm hearing is furniture, and I'm like, they went dressed to a furniture store like that.
Well, it's Art Basel or Basel. I mean, it is like one of the biggest art festivals in the
Oh,
country.
okay. So
Everybody
it's not
goes
a
to it.
furniture store that they went to. It's a festival.
Hmm.
Okay, now I understand a little bit more. Listen, celebrities do celebrity type things. They
Right.
do, they do crazy stuff, but they look nice. They look nice.
Oh yeah, they had a good time. Strip club, art activations. They're living it up.
Okay.
And folks are worried about Cardi B because she's looking snatched very fast after that baby.
Is she? I heard that too. What did she do? Did she? I mean, she got rid of the she.
Nobody, I mean, I don't know what she did, but I know she looked very snatched
Oh
after
man.
just having a baby.
Okay, well, go Cardi. But didn't Stefan have a baby too with a couple other people or something like that? She was going in on somebody.
She's very aware of it, and she
Right,
said,
she was
yeah.
going in on somebody, right?
She was
Didn't
just
she?
like, we both got a baby daddy.
That's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. Cardi, she don't be messing around. She just straight to the hip, straight shooter there. Look, but listen, they are being intentional about not showing the baby's face. Um, a lot of celebrities do that, right? I thought we had, they used to anyway. I thought we had left that era where they would try and shield the baby from the, from photos and stuff. But I
I mean, I
guess
think it
Cardi is.
depends on the parent. I think it really
Mhm,
depends on who the parent is, because a
mhm.
lot of people still do that.
Yeah, I mean, you get it to an extent, um, but I don't know. Either way, I'll never understand it because I'll never be in their shoes. So and plus, my baby making days are long over with. So I am not. We are done. We are long done. Shoot. But nonetheless, good for Cardi B. I just think that I just don't understand a woman having gone through what she's gone through, and apparently, I'll say apparently because we don't know everything, like you always say, but apparently having a baby so quickly into this relationship.
I mean, she can afford it.
Yeah, but there's
Her
more to
body, her
that.
right.
You always
Her
say that,
body,
but there's
her
more to
body,
that.
her choice. Her body, her
It
right.
is. It is.
And she can afford it. She can afford to have 12
But
babies.
mentally, emotionally is what I'm saying. Is that an emotional thing? Is that a mental thing? Or is that just she just desired to have a baby and he came along and she liked him and she was like, let's have a baby? All I'm saying is it's not, I don't care how much money you got, when you just come off such a horrible marriage. Marriage wasn't even done yet, not officially. And then you have a baby so quick. Is that like filling a void or something? I'm just trying to, from a psychological standpoint, there has to be something there. It's not because I got money. I'm sure she wouldn't open her legs to anybody.
Mm.
You don't understand what I'm saying? What I'm getting
I
at?
mean, Latinos make lots of babies. I mean, that's not, I mean, they do. They like to procreate. And that's why Donald Trump and them was pissed. They want their white folks to be procreating more than them. Okay. That's part of the problem. I mean, it's part of her culture. I
You know,
mean,
you
so to ask questions like, I
that's
mean, that's part of
that
their
sounds
culture.
almost that sounds almost racist. Latinos like to have babies.
I mean, that's a fact. It's a fact. They like to procreate. They don't believe in abortion because they're Catholic. I mean, I
Well,
mean,
I'm
that's
not
not
suggesting in
racist.
any way that she should have aborted the baby.
No, I'm not saying you're
Yeah,
saying, but you were asking the question. It was
yeah.
like, what's going on in her brain? And I'm just talking about a cultural that it's a cultural thing for them. They're Catholic, they don't believe in abortion, and they do like to procreate. That's
Hmm.
something that us black women got away from. You know what I'm saying? Because the master used to make us do it. So we like,
Right.
I ain't doing all that. So I'm saying it's a cultural thing. And so,
Prince.
for them, it's just like, and the thing about it, Cardi can't afford it. She can afford to have a tribe of Judah. She can afford to have 12. Okay. She can afford to have a dozen. She can
And y'all
afford
know,
it.
y'all know that's Nielle's mantra. They could afford it. They could
And,
afford
and,
it.
and, and maybe she has a lot of love to give.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for the therapist, Nielle. See, you just gave us a little therapy there. I mean, hey, she got a lot of love to
I
give.
mean, but it's her
Call
choice.
you Dr.
And she
Nielle.
loves it. She's happy. She like, let me get my body snatched back. She
She
got
said
four
not a,
babies. Or she could have been sticking it to what's his name? Offset. She could have been sticking it to him.
well, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was looking for. Some substance to back up the question. There you go. You said a couple of things there. Um Tom Brady's ex. The Quinn says you're talking about Tom Brady's ex-wife. Well, she did the same thing.
I mean, look at Sierra. Sierra, they about to make a baby number 5.
Well, they married, right? And they waited, and listen, according to them, they waited until they got married before they had sex.
I mean, so it's okay for her to have 5 babies, but not okay for Cardi just because she's not married.
They in a marriage. I mean, what I'm saying, they
Oh,
wouldn't. No, Niele. Again, the point was, and you were doing good, Dr. Niele. You were doing good with your therapist, with your therapy, I should say, given the therapy. I said she was just through this stuff. She hadn't even gone through the stuff with Offset yet. They were still battling. He was still being a menace to her, and she starts dating him, and she almost, from what we understand, now who knows? Maybe her and Stefan was an item long before they made it public. But from what we understand, she just got pregnant almost immediately, and so that's different than being in a marriage and having 5 kids all during your marriage.
For you, maybe that's not the same for her.
Okay.
Maybe you're a traditional, maybe you're a traditionalist, and maybe she's new aged.
All right, I'm gonna call a different therapist now. You're fired now.
You know, because clearly she's okay. Okay,
Oh gosh, let's get
she's
some
okay with it all.
She is. She listen, Cardi B, I will say this, and I don't know Cardi B personally at all, but she appears to be extremely happy.
Yeah, and I would destined forever to live. None of this is my business.
She appears to be living her life like it's golden.
None of this.
Oh,
But
God.
you know, Cardi wants you to talk about it. Just don't say the wrong thing, okay?
I know that's right. Listen, some Black history facts right quick. On this date in 1833, the Philadelphia Female Anti-Slavery Society was founded in an effort to make their voices heard during a time when anti-slavery groups were forming throughout the North. A team of women came together to form the interracial Philadelphia Female Anti-Slavery Society, known as the PFASS. Not only did these 60 members challenge slavery laws, but they also advocated for racial and gender equality. So that is a Black history fact from 1833.
Mm.
Mm.
Because sometimes it seems like we still fight the same fight from 1833.
You got that right.
You know, some of these Black kids, I'm like, is this the past or is it the present?
Right.
Some days I don't know the difference. By the way, this clan is behaving. But anyway, thank you to the ancestors. Thank you, ancestors.
Wildest dreams.
You know, wildest dreams. Let's head to Motown in the 60s.
All right.
December 9th, Motown had a lot going on. In 1963, the legendary group The Supremes, featuring Diana Ross, released their debut album, Meet the Supremes. And then a few years later, on this same day, December 9th in 1968, the star-studded NBC special, Taking Care of Business, featured the Supremes and the Temptation. And it was a showcase of Motown's biggest acts like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, the Four Tops, and even Linda Ronstadt for her duet with Smokey Robinson, making this a historical all-Black musical review. And I thought this was such a cool fact that both of these events happened on December 9th. And, you know, people are still celebrating Berry Gordy's birthday, who was on November 28th. He turned 96. And so, you know, just thinking about Motown and the legacy that they gave our culture, and then thinking about the music of today. But, you know, that was my nod to Motown for today.
Yeah, Dr. Marilyn said yesterday Sammy Davis would have been 100, but speaking of Motown, it's been proven true, and I've always said it. There will never, I'm not the only one who said it, but there will never be another Motown.
No, people don't even know what artist and repertoire is, and grooming artists, and, you know, getting them prepared. All of that was a part of what made Motown artists great, because they were trained, they were groomed, they knew how to conduct interviews, right. The fashion, it was just, it was a package, right? It just wasn't a rapper or a singer, but it was a complete package that you knew how to represent Black people and you knew how to represent Motown. Berry Gordy wasn't happening no other way.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Well,
today is also Red Fox's birthday too. Dr. Marilyn brought up Sammy Davis Jr. today. Is Red Fox's birthday, so go watch some Sanford and Son.
Sanford. How old would he have been?
Let's see, Red Fox. Let's see. Red Fox age.
He died of a heart attack of all things.
It doesn't
say.
He was born in 1922.
Oh, okay. So he would have been like 103.
Yeah. 2025 minus 1922. He would have been 103. He would have been 103 today.
Okay. All right.
Destin said, Elizabeth, I'm coming. Join you, honey. I'm coming to join you, honey.
Oh, gosh. Well, we'll join y'all again tomorrow, right?
We will join you. But in the meantime and in between time, if you want to know what's happening from the Black perspective, always head over to BlackPressUSA.com.
Thanks for watching.